Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Review, CBS. Thank you, Bill, for hooking me up with this. I really appreciate it. My area was very limited, so really appreciate that. I had this a couple years ago when they did the draft only release and loved it. I'll read the descriptor and then I'll talk a little bit about it and get into the beer. Imperial Stout brewed with chocolate and coffee, aged in maple syrup, bourbon barrels, 11.7% ABV. Um, so if you don't watch my channel normally or enough to know this about me, I love maple syrup. I grew up, my great grandfather had a sugar shack. He made the real stuff. I grew up drinking the real, or not drinking, but using the real stuff. And I never used the fake crap. So huge maple syrup fan, huge stout and bourbon barrel fan, huge coffee fan, huge chocolate fan. So you probably see where I'm going with this. Big fan of at least when I had it on draft. So I'm really hoping this bottle lives up to my memory of that. Um, I won't complain about it being in a 750 milliliter versus me getting like two bottles of 12 ounce, which would be what I would prefer. So the bourbon barrels then had maple syrup. Again, as someone who loves maple syrup, I have quite enjoyed maple syrup aged in bourbon barrels. A couple places I've had just put a little bit of bourbon or whiskey in maple syrup and then top the pancakes wherever with it. That's also a good move. Um, but anyway, so I did watch two reviews and it looked like there was a lot of head, so I'm gonna try to pour it without crazy amount of head. Let's say I watched Massive Beer Reviews and Brad Allison were the two I watched. I'm sure there's a lot up there. People were super excited, obviously, about this. So I tried to pour that not very vigorously and still got crazy amount of head. So if I could go back in time, I would have poured this first and then talked about some of that other stuff. Geez. Kind of surprised. I mean, again, I watched this happen in other people's videos. Ooh, that's chocolate, coffee, and maple. Wow. um, I'll power through it. So very dark beer. Man, actually like really dark. Very bottom edges. You see a little bit of brown. Uh, Pretty dark mocha head. The bubbles at this point compact, starting to break up a little bit and get some bigger bubbles in there. Let's get into the aroma. You get some of that chocolate and coffee, but yeah, and then definitely bourbon and maple syrup. So like what you know is in this or part of this beer definitely coming through. I'm looking for some vanilla, not getting it in the aroma. Super slight vegetal note. But yeah, again, really that stuff that you know is in the beer, and then that the beer was aged in the maple bourbon barrels. Definitely smells like that. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. That sweetness, like so, like you're thinking like, okay, it's maple syrup. Sweetness is nice. I don't think it's too much. Um, if you didn't watch my Bourbon County reviews, I'm going to say the Northwoods and the, excuse me, the proper sweeter than this, surprisingly, with the maple syrup bourbon barrels. The coffee is somewhat subdued. I think it's working with a chocolate. I don't know what kind of chocolate you use, but definitely comes across as dark chocolate. If I had to guess, I'd say I use dark chocolate, but maybe it's milk chocolate. And then with that coffee, combining together kind of dries it out, makes it taste like dark chocolate. Plus the roastiness of the roasted malts are probably, well, not probably, that I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're using in their stout. Um, Barrel wise, you mostly get the maple syrup. Some bourbon does come through. I don't get any of this as straight oak. Definitely none of the straight wood. With that barrel and maple syrup, I get a vanilla note that I did not get in the aroma at all. I know the head's gone down a little bit. I get a little bit more roastiness. That smells nice. For 11.7, right? Is that what it is? Yeah, 11.7. Um, it's pretty full. I mean, again, having done all those bourbon counties, those were a little higher ABV. So I don't know if it's just because I was used to those that this feels a hair thinner. Um, it's definitely not a thin beer. I wouldn't go that far though. But it's also not chewy. So it's somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the medium for that. Caramel note, it's good. I'll tell you what, it's really good. When I had it on draft, the place I had it at had done candied bacon, which was real nice to pair with this. That wasn't obvious. If I was gonna up anything, it'd be the coffee. It is there. It's subtle. I think it helps bring out some of their flavors, like I said, with the chocolate. Maybe it helps balance that bitterness, helps balance some of the sweetness from the maple and the bourbon, the bigness of the stout itself. $25 a bottle. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. Um, I'll say I'm glad I spent $25 on this bottle. Um, yeah, this is good. Thank you again, Bill. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Obviously, appreciate that quite a bit. Check me out on Instagram and Untapped on both of those. It's No Hype Beer Reviews, just like on you. Excuse me, just like it is on YouTube. Man, this is my first beer of the day. And it'll be my only beer of the day because it's big. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.